بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم واعلموا أنما غنمتم من شيء فأن لله خمسه وللرسول ولذي القربى واليتامى والمساكين وابن السبيل.
أعوذ بالله من الشيطان الرجيم. بسم الله الرحمن الرحيم. الحمد لله رب العالمين والصلاة والسلام على سيد الأنبياء والمرسلين حبيب إله العالمين العبد المؤيد الرسول المسدد المصطفى الأمجد المحمود الأحمد أبي القاسم مصطفى محمد صلى الله عليه وآله وسلم. أما بعد، فقد قال الحكيم في كتابه الكريم: واعلموا أنما غنمتم من شيء فأن لله خمسه وللرسول ولذي القربى واليتامى والمساكين وابن السبيل. Dear brothers and sisters, this is the second session we are speaking about Khums. Khums is one of the most important subjects in jurisprudence. I have already explained the importance, the significance of Khums and the role which Khums plays in terms of helping and assisting the religious seminaries, the religious schools and charitable projects. Now, there are still confusions, questions, inquiries regarding Khums. Many people wonder as to what they should do when it comes to the property they have purchased, the money they have saved in their bank accounts, the gifts they have received, and the inheritance they have received from their fathers or from their relatives, close relatives, distant relatives, and probably any other assets or any kind of money or property or estate which belong to them. Now, whether Khums is applicable to them or not, this is a confusion. This is a question that has to be dealt with, that has to be answered and redressed. If a person has earned money without having worked for it, now like if someone gives some money to you unexpectedly, of course, now is Khums payable on it or not? Of course, if you spend it for your daily needs or for the needs of your family, there is no Khums on it. But if it remains with you unused, if you keep it in your account, or if you save it, or maybe if you keep it in your house, I mean the money or maybe the property which you might have received from someone, and a whole year elapses on that property or on that money, then Khums should be paid on it. Now, if someone gives you something, like for example, he gives you a refrigerator which you need, he gives you a set of television, he gives you a set of mobile, or maybe he gives something like kitchen utensils which you need and which you use throughout a year, or maybe you use it for a short period of time, then indeed you have to pay, it's not necessary for you to pay khums from those things. The reason is that you have used them within a year from the time you received it, from the time you started using it, or from the time you earned it. Khums, a complete year has passed. And then the general criterion is that if a complete year passes over something and you use it, you use just the examples or which I gave, like refrigerator, like a TV set, a mobile set, and all these things. If you use them within a year, then khums is not payable on them. And once something is used, this is very important to note, once something is used within a year and then it remains unused, like for example, you have many used objects in your house and some of them have remained unused for many years, but you used them during the first year, you did use them during the first year, then khums will never be payable on those things. Khums will not be obligatory on those objects and on those items. The general rule has to be remembered, and that is from the time you receive, from the time you earn something until a year has elapsed, if you use that thing within that year, then you shouldn't worry, khums will not be payable on it. Now this is the rule which is applicable to items, to things which you possess, to things which you have in your house, to household gadgets, to kitchen utensils. But if you have an amount of money and you earned it or you received it from your father, for example. Now there are many students who receive pocket money from their father and they spend part of the money and a portion of that amount of money remains in their pocket or maybe in their bank account, and a whole year passes on that money. This is one of the questions which are asked by students. Now, the question is khums payable on that pocket money which a student has received? Now, it does not make any difference whether his father has paid khums from that money or maybe he has not paid it, or maybe he knows that he has paid it or he does not know. It does not make any difference. If a year has passed on that amount, which a dependent student, a student who does not have his own source of income, has saved in his bank account, khums will not be payable on that amount of money. Now, if someone has given you a gift and you did not use it, that is a gift, of course. It is not necessary to give khums from that gift immediately. You have to wait. Maybe if you use it, khums will not be payable on it, but if you do not use it, if it remains with you for a whole year, then khums should be paid from it.
يا دافع الخطوب يا جابر المعطوف يا من هو مندوبي فعفوك مطلوبي يا دافع الخطوب يا جابر المعطوف يا من هو مندوبي فعفوك مطلوبي يا ستار العيوب يا غفار الذنوب يا ستار العيوب يا غفار الذنوب يا علام الغيوب يا كشاف الكروب.
There are a few things from which khums is not paid, and khums is not obligatory. Number one is the mahr, the dowry which a woman receives from her husband. Now, for example, a woman's dowry or mahr or sadaq, as the Arabic term is, the mahr is not liable to khums, and khums should not be and cannot be paid on the dowry which a woman receives from her husband. This is a property which belongs to the wife, and it is not necessary for the wife or for the woman to divide it into 5 portions and give 1 portion as khums to her marja. This is an exception. Khums is not payable on mahr. This is number 1. Number 2, khums is not payable on the inheritance. If a person inherits something from his father or from his son, from his close relatives, it is not necessary for him to pay khums from the inheritance, from the property which he receives or which he inherits from his dead father or from his dead mother or from his dead child. Number 2. Of course, the religious scholars have said that if someone receives khums from a distant relative, from a very distant relative, then the obligatory precaution is that he should pay khums from it. He should pay khums from it. This is, of course, an obligatory precaution. It is only a precaution and not a hukum. Hukum is when the marja says it is wajib, it is haram, it is mustahab, or it's makruh, or it's mubah. These are the 5 hukums. But when he says the precaution is this, or the recommended precaution is this, or the obligatory precaution is that, then this is not a hukum, it's only a precaution. And of course, when it comes to precaution, a person has the option, the choice, to refer to another marja, to the next most learned mujtahid, who either says that khums should be paid or says that khums is not necessary to be paid from the inheritance. Something, of course, has to be clarified here, and that is, the religious scholars have also said that if someone receives an amount of money or something unexpectedly, this is the important term that has to be taken into consideration. If someone receives, maybe if he inherits something unexpectedly from someone whom he did not expect to receive inheritance from or to inherit anything from, he receives it unexpectedly, the religious scholars have said that he should pay khums from that property which he has received or which she has received. Now, this is the second thing from which khums is not paid. Inheritance is the second thing from which khums is not necessary to be paid. Of course, if you know that your father did not pay khums from a certain object, he used to pay khums from everything, you know it, and you know that he failed before his death, he failed to pay khums from his income or from a certain asset or from a certain property, then you must pay khums from that thing because you know it. But if you do not know whether he has paid khums from it or not, then it's not necessary to pay khums from it. The same is true when your father or maybe your relative is a careless person or maybe a carefree person. He does not care about giving khums and he never paid khums. He never even offered his prayers. Now the property which you receive from him, even though you know that he did not pay any khums from the property, he did not pay any khums from the amount from his balance which he has in his bank account, then it's not necessary for you to pay khums from that property. Inheritance is the second exception. Now the third exception is when you receive an amount of money from your wife as an exchange for the khula, divorce. There is one type of divorce which is called khula. Of course, some of you do know the meaning of khula, and some of you do not know what khula actually means. Khula is a divorce when a woman starts hating her husband, and there is a kind of aversion, hatred built between the woman and the husband. The woman does not like her husband, but the husband likes his wife. In such a case, if a woman wants her husband to divorce her, the divorce is called khula. And of course, the husband has the right to demand anything from his wife. He can demand her to give him a certain amount of money, or he can tell her to return the mahr, the dowry. He can tell her to exempt the dowry, to exempt him of the dowry, or to forego the dowry. He can tell her to buy him something in exchange for the divorce. Now, if the woman agrees to give something to her husband, that amount of money which the husband receives in exchange for the khula, divorce, that amount of money is not liable to khums. The husband or the man is not under the obligation to pay khums from that amount of money. This is an important issue. Many people, unfortunately, do not know the rules of khums. Sometimes they give khums from things which they should not give. They give khums from everything they have in their house, from their carpet, from their cars, from their refrigerator, from their TV set, and from everything they possess and they have in their houses. While this is not the case. Khums is not payable on many objects because you have bought them with the income, with the source, with the money or in the asset which you earned during the same year. If you buy something with your income during the same year and you use it, khums is not paid, and khums should not be paid from that thing. You have bought a car during this year with the income which you earned this year. Now, khums should not be paid from the car which you are going to use and which you need for your family and for yourself. Of course, if you buy a car which you will use to carry passengers, to carry people from place to place, and you use it as a taxi, of course you have to pay khums from it. Now, for example, if you buy a tractor, this is another example. If you buy a tractor, if you use it for yourself, for your own need, like if you plow your own land with it, and you use the tractor to plow your own property, your own state and land, of course, as long as you use it for your own need, for your own necessity, khums is not payable on that thing. Now, if you use that tractor to plow other people's land for money, you use that for money in order to use it as a means for income, for an avenue, khums should be paid from that thing. Khums should be paid from the car which you use as a taxi, from the tractor which you use to plow other people's land in order to earn money.
ناجيتك يا رحمن ودعوتك يا ديان يا خالق الإنسان الله 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 يا خالق الإنسان الله الله الله.
Now many women, many men have bought things and they have kept those things in their houses, in their box, and they have not remembered, or maybe they have not used those things, of course, and a whole year has elapsed, has passed on those things. There's no doubt that he or she has to pay khums from those things. And it does not make any difference from whether that thing is something very cheap, very little in terms of value, in terms of market price, or that thing is very important and very valuable, very precious. So khums should be paid from that thing. Now there's another example. Because we have to explain everything by giving examples, and it's only the examples that clarify the issues, that make things clear. You have one house and you have bought another house, or maybe you have bought an extra piece of land which you intend to build a house on that piece of land. If you have a house of your own and you have an extra piece of land or an extra house which you have bought, there's no doubt that you have to pay khums from that piece of land or from that extra house. You have a house, you have given it out to other people for rent. You have rented it to someone in order to earn money, or to maybe to meet the needs of your family. Again, you have to pay khums from it. Or maybe you have paid khums from the money which you used to buy a house. You have paid money from the asset, from the money which you used to buy a car or a house or a piece of land. It does not make any difference. Now the market price of that thing has gone up. You bought it for $10,000. Now that very thing costs $15,000. Other people are ready to buy it from you for $15,000. The religious scholars have said that even though you paid many khums from that amount, from the amount which you used to buy that house or that piece of land, but since the market value of that piece of land or that property has gone up, you have to pay khums from the increase in the market value. You have to pay khums from the $5,000, not from the $10,000, because the $10,000 has already been actually purged. Khums has already been given on that amount of money. But the extra amount which is considered to be your profit from the house is liable to khums. Now, whenever and wherever such an occasion arises where you benefit something, where you make a profit from the property which you, from the thing which you buy from the market, then it is necessary for you to pay khums from those things. Now, dear brothers and sisters, there are 7 objects on which khums should be paid. Inshallah, in the next session to come, I will elaborate on those objects. I will explain and give the rules of those objects, those 7 objects. Now, there are, for example, one is the income which I explained, of course. I as far as I could, as far as I remembered, I explained the important issues in regards to the source of income or the income which a person has. And there are other 6 items on which khums should be paid. They are, for example, the spoils of war. They are the things, halal things mixed with haram things. Number 3, they are the land which a zimmi kafir, which a kafir who lives under the protection of Muslims buys from Muslims. Number 4, and then also you have the treasure trough, khums should be paid, and also maybe gems which you buy, which you take out from the sea, and these are the things from which khums should be paid. And of course the details, the explanations, the rules will come in the next session. I will elaborate on everything related to these 7 major things on which khums is payable. Thank you very much. Wassalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
اللهم بارك للحجاج والزوار في الزاد والنفقة، واقض ما أوجبت عليهم من الحج والعمرة بفضلك ورحمتك يا أرحم الراحمين.